KOKOMO. Indiana University KOKOMO in the white with the red and black trim, and Oregon Tech in their dark blues with the gold letters, white numbers, and the gold and black trim down the sides of their uniforms here today. Oregon Tech got a win in their opening round. The 2 seed from the Naismith bracket over Antelope Valley. It was our nightcap game on day 1. So we get a hook shot from near the free throw line from the sophomore Garrett Albrecht. That's the first points in this one here today for Oregon Tech. Now 25-7 on the season. The Owls have faced several teams who are in this tournament throughout the course of the year, but now getting a chance to see Indiana University KOKOMO here today, who comes in with a 26-7 overall record. These two teams figure to go toe-to-toe. They match up as far as statistics very well heading into this national tournament. IU KOKOMO did get out to a little bit of a slow start in their game against Union, and they had quite the scare there, but it ended up being the upset. IU KOKOMO, the 6 seed, over 3 seed Union, 89-83. So these two teams now in this second round of this national tournament, hoping to advance to the quarterfinals tomorrow. They'll play the defending national champion, whoever wins this one. Indiana Wesleyan may have expended a lot of energy just to get to that quarterfinal round. We'll have to see. So if these two teams can find a way to make a quick game, preserve some energy, they might have the upper hand heading into that Saturday matchup. Again, we'll have to see how this goes. Both teams kind of off to rocky starts as far as shot selections here early on. We'll get you some updated numbers in just a moment, but right now, the bucket there for McLean is good. McLean, the junior out of Hammond, Indiana, averaged 17 points a game, 5 rebounds per contest heading into this tournament. In the opening round win, McLean was just 2 of 6 from the floor. He had 8 points, so they're looking for him to get going early in this one. Early substitution here, Kellen Garrick, the junior out of Beaver, California, checks in. Oregon Tech's head coach, Justin Parnell, in his 3rd year at the helm of this program. Went 15-3 in conference play against the Cascade Collegiate Conference. His team trailing right now 4-0 after getting the game's opening bucket, and now they're going to say a foul. It's going to be called on DeTuan Gary. Gary had a terrific game that first night. Only 5 points, but did have 5 assists, 4 rebounds. Did a great job taking care of the basketball. Ended up with a steal in that game as well. Again, there's a few guys on this IU KOKOMO team who are normally terrific scorers that just didn't have big games, but their team found a way to survive. They can get their big scores going today. They're going to have a real decent shot here against this Oregon Tech team, again, who is the 2 seed from the Naismith side of the bracket, and the 6 seed IU KOKOMO now all of a sudden out to an early 8-2 lead, and it's going to be a timeout called by the Owls. 17:20 left to go. Just a 30-second timeout here on the floor. It'll give us an extra chance to introduce you to these two teams a little bit further. Again, this game starting just about 5 minutes late because of all the excitement we had with Dakota Wesleyan and Indiana Wesleyan, and fans are still kind of filing their way out here this evening. While we have the moment, use that hashtag NAIA D2MBB. You can get your picture, your tweet, your Instagram post, your Facebook message put up on the big board here inside the Pentagon, this beautiful facility at Heritage Court. We'll even get you up on our live stream of this pay-per-viewed event here as this national tournament continues on. We've had lots of folks coming in and letting us know where they're at. We want to see your watch party, where you guys are at in your classroom, your dorm room, sitting at home in the living room. We don't really care where it's from. We want to know. Let us know. Use that hashtag, and we'll get you involved. 8-2 your score here right now. And again, Justin Parnell had his team ranked as high as 6th earlier this season. This will be the 3rd time in as many years that these Owls have gotten here since Parnell took over at the program. This shot off the backside of the iron, no good for Bryce Hudson. The Owls feel like they belong here, and again, had a terrific season. They're hoping for a deep run, but know that their route might be one of the toughest, most difficult paths to a championship here in this tournament. Left-handed floater off the backside of the iron. That's no good. Rebounded offensively, though, by Gehrig. Little jumper from the free throw line, and that's good. Seth Erickson Erickson, who averaged 13.5 points, almost 6 rebounds per game, shot 49% from the floor during the regular season. In the Owls' opening round win, Erickson was 3 of 8 from the floor with 10 points. He was just one of 2 Owls to get into double figures scoring. They're going to call a foul on Gehrig. Indiana University KOKOMO, led by head coach Eric Eckelbarger. He put his team in a great position this year, going 18-0 at home, but they did have some struggles on the road, going 7-7. Picked up their 8th road win of the season just 2 days ago. Came into this tournament ranked 22nd in the nation. They're off to a terrific start here today, although that miss opens the door again for these Owls. We're right now down 8-4. Oregon Tech going to work here. That jumper, no. Cal Stevie couldn't get that one to fall. Hudson kicks it back outside now for IU KOKOMO. Deshaun Hampton was a big factor in that first round win for IU KOKOMO. Handed it off there to Hudson, who got the layup, but Hudson came down awkwardly on his right ankle. He's going to try to loosen up his shoe here, but he's having some trouble putting weight on that right foot right now. Trainer looking on, isn't going to come out on the floor quite yet, but he's going to limp his way towards the sideline. And boy, again, only 6 points a game during the regular season, but losing the junior would be a devastating loss to this team. He creates so much off the dribble, and yeah, he's having some trouble getting off the floor. Your scores. This one off the backside of the iron falls just shy. He'll have a chance here at some free throws, though. Mitchell Fink, the conference player of the year for the second region conference, will go to the free throw line for the first time here today. Fink was terrific in that first round win, 22 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. He did have a game-high 7 turnovers in that contest, though. He's going to need to take better care of the ball. Trying to get his team back in this one right now, down by 5. Again, most here in Sioux Falls anyways probably didn't see that game. It was the final game on night 1, and it didn't get over until almost 12:30. It was a very late night on that first night with all the opening ceremonies and everything involved, and the Owls had to sit around and kind of impatiently wait for their opportunity. It was kind of a sluggish game early on. They're off to a sluggish start here. That 3 falls for Akil McLean. We mentioned McLean needed to get going tonight, and he's off to a terrific start here today. (13-6) your score. Again, very early on in this, not quite 6 minutes gone by yet. Stevie looking inside, trying to find the big post player down low. Now Fink is going to ask for a screen from Matt Van Tassel. Instead, it's going to be Fink stepping back. That one off the right side of the iron, no good. Sub checking in for the Owls will be Scotty Burge out of Zillow, Washington. Stevie will check out. Back in the game will be Seth Erickson, the junior out of Salem, Oregon. 13-6 your score. Right now, IU KOKOMO doubling up Oregon Tech. Fink hands it off in the right wing. Wide open shooter. That one's good. Draining it is Seth Erickson. Erickson, 10 points, as we mentioned, with 3 steals and 8 rebounds, but didn't hit a 3 in that opening round when it was 0 of 2 from downtown. That's his first made 3 of the tournament. That one tipped out by IU KOKOMO. Spivey tipped it away. Bryce Hudson did go into the locker room. The trainer took him in there to try to retape that right ankle that he twisted up. We're going to keep an eye on him and see if and when he comes back out. Once he does, we'll let you know. But again, they're going to need him down the stretch here. Erickson kicks it into the corner. Now the three, that's left short. Tracked down by McLean. He'll bring it out with 13 and a half minutes to go in this first half. That shot off the backside of the iron, no good. Hudson kicks it back outside. Fresh 30 on the shot clock, and they're going to say he traveled. Anton Clifton, the junior out of Indianapolis, took the extra step. Again, he averages 19 points a game. This team just overall had their struggles shooting-wise in that first round, although they did get the win. Clifton, one of the few who actually found some success. He had 15 points, and now right back to IU Kokomo here after both teams exchange kind of poor offensive possessions. IU Kokomo in the white. This three from the right wing is good for Clifton. (16-9) your score. Nice feed inside from Fink. Finding the open shooter there for Kellen Gehrig, the junior out of Beaver, California. Getting into the scoring column here. He's got 4 points early on in this game. 16-11 your score. Clifton wanted another, couldn't hit it this time from the right wing, and Fink will bring it up now for the Owls. Top of the key three, that's off the left side of the iron, no good. Clifton with the board. 12:20 left to go in this first half. Both teams kind of like the transition run and gun offense, although right now IU Kokomo kind of playing in that half-court set. Kick outside was intercepted by Fink. He'll get it into the front court quickly. Steiger had that one ripped out of his hands. They're going to call him for the offensive foul. Crashed into one of the defenders. I believe it was Clifton in the area. Just under 12 minutes left to go now. This one off the backside of the iron, no good. Nice drive that time, but couldn't get it to go. It's a 5-point game. Owls trying to get back in this one after trailing 13-6 not long ago. It's been a nice little run here for the Owls, and it's now just a one-possession game. Spivey got tangled up with Fink. This is going to be a foul, I believe, on the Owls, and it'll be 2 free throws coming up for Spivey, who comes in shooting 78% from the stripe. Or no, they're going to say it was on the ground. It was not in the act of shooting. Fink will go to the sideline. Tyler Heeb will check in. The Wilsonville, Oregon native. Junior out of state of Oregon. Averages 10 points, 3.5 rebounds per game, was 49th in the nation in free throw percentage during the season. A guy that they like to get to the stripe, create off the dribble. That one was tipped initially on a block, but found its way in the net, and it's back to a 5-point lead here now for IU Kokomo. Steiger getting it up to the top of the key to Heeb. Their top point scorer, Fink, on the bench right now, so it's going to be Steiger who takes over. The sophomore out of Wilsonville, Oregon, drains that one. Shot 61% from the field during the regular season. Steiger had just 5 points in the opening round win. That three's good for Spivey. Spivey now 3 points on the day. He had 28 in the opening round win in 37 minutes. It was 11 of 17 from the floor. Off to a bit of a slow start here with just those 3 points. Steiger off the front side of the iron, no. 10.5 minutes left to go now. 21-15, 6-point advantage for IU Kokomo. They've got the lead and the possession. Three from the left wing isn't going to fall through. Porch missed on that one. Three from the right wing. This time that one falls for Seth Erickson. And a timeout called by IU Kokomo. They want to take a full timeout. We'll step aside as well. 10-10 left to go. It's a 3-point game here in Sioux Falls. Back with more in just a moment from the NAIA Division II National Championships presented by Athleticare. $10-10 left to go in this first half. 21-18 your score. Oregon Tech trying to claw back their way into this one with IU Kokomo leading the entire way. Actually, Oregon Tech had a brief 2-0 lead very early on in the game. Spivey went in strong, got fouled, and he'll go to the free throw line. They'll call this one on Steiger. Steiger, a 68% free throw shooter. Actually, Spivey, a 78% free throw shooter. Had 161 makes from the free throw line heading into this tournament. Misses that one, though. (22-18). 9:56 left to go. First half action here inside the Pentagon. This is our fourth game of the day. 4 more to be played in this second round action before we get into those quarterfinals coming up tomorrow. As Fink, who just checked in a moment ago, has this one get tipped out of bounds. They'll say last touched by McKim, the Sydney, Australia native. It'll go back to IU Kokomo. (24-18) your score. This one kicked outside. The shot off the backside of the iron, no good. Oregon Tech still trying to get things going on the offensive side here today. That one off the backside of the iron. Fighting for the loose ball was Hampton. Again, had a terrific game in the opening round. This one got stripped out of his hands. It's going to go the other way. Actually, they're going to say a foul now on Hampton. Hampton was 7 of 12 with 15 points in the opening round win. Just under 9 to go here in this first half. And they're going to say a travel for Matt Van Tassel. freshman out of Bend, Oregon. Had some big moments over the course of the win there 2 nights ago. Figures to be a solid player for this team here for a few years to come now for Justin Parnell. His team trails right now, though, by 6, 24-18 your score. Spin move inside the lane for Porch. He's going to leave it short. Rebounded by Fink. Oregon Tech, undersized in this matchup today, has been kind of reluctant to do that. Drive inside the lane. That one tipped not once but twice. It's going to be an offensive rebound, though. And another opportunity for these Owls to once again try to get back in this contest. Fink, top of the key three. That's good. They needed that three in the worst way. They're now 3 of 8 from downtown. Fink already with 4, make it 5 rebounds with that bucket there. Now gives him 5 points on the day. So 5 and 5 so far for Fink as Hampton answers on the other end. Hampton now 2 of 3 from the floor. To foul here. They're going to call this on Fink. That'll be his second. 2 quick fouls on Mitchell Fink, and they're going to have to make a decision. Do they want to leave their team leader out there on the floor with those 2 personals, or will he have to go to the bench? They're going to leave him out there right now. Going to the bench will be Tyler Heeb. He's living kind of dangerously with those 2 personals early here. Fink is going to have to lock it in defensively the rest of the way in this first half. 26-21 your score. 7:25 left to go in this first half of action. Second round play in this national tournament. That's going to be a travel inside the lane for Spivey. Bryce Hudson did get back in the game. They retaped that right ankle of his. See him right there at the top of the key in white, number 4 for IU Kokomo. Took a tough fall after a layup attempt very early on in this game. The trainer got him taped up, and he's back out there guarding Fink. Fink on the drive, kicked it down to the baseline. Nice pass, nice finish inside. Kason Faust gets that one to go. McLean now to the baseline to the freshman. Simic, an athletic young player for this team, had that one go out of bounds. It'll be 17 on the shot clock. Hudson will inbound this one here with 6:45 left to go in the first half. Officials going to the scorers table here. Might be an issue. One of the players on the roster today here for Oregon Tech. Waiting to see what they have to say. They've called over a second official now to the scorers table. They're reviewing the scorebook to see if maybe there's a player that they missed in the opening game lineup here. Looks like Stevie's about to check in, but we've got an official's review on the floor. Let's recap this day so far here in Sioux Falls, how we've gotten to this point. It's been a wild one. Some crazy finishes already here in this second round of the NAIA National Tournament. Earlier on today, our 8:30 game, it was a thriller. Spring Arbor out of Michigan edged Jamestown out of North Dakota 85-81. IU East thumped St. Francis, ending Cinderella's dance here at the National Tournament 77-61. And just a few minutes ago, Dakota Wesleyan fell in a heartbreaker. They had the lead with seconds left, but it was one of the best players in this tournament knocking down a big three for Indiana Wesleyan, the defending national champion. And the number 1 overall seed who snuck away with the 1-point win over the 4 seed Dakota Wesleyan, shocking this Dakota Wesleyan faithful here in Sioux Falls. But what a day for IU, or for Indiana Wesleyan, I should say, with Mangus hitting that 3 from the left wing to give them a chance to defend their title at least for another day. They will face the winner of this one now as they continue to look on at the scorebook and try and figure out exactly what the situation is, but presumably there's either a player who doesn't have the right number or there's a player who's not listed on the sheet who tried to check in. They're trying to get that corrected here, and we should be back to action in just a moment. 6:45 to go, though, in this first half. Let's update you on some stats from this game while we have a moment. Early on, IU KOKOMO shooting almost 53% from the floor. They're 11 of 21 so far and are 3 of 6 from three-point range. Oregon Tech now 9 of 24 in this game. They have not been afraid to shoot, just have struggled to find a way to get them to fall early. Shooting just under 38% as a team. 3 of 9 from three-point land. Rebounds are pretty even. IU KOKOMO 13 rebounds as a team. Oregon Tech 12. The Owls have 5 offensive rebounds right now, which is 2 more than IU KOKOMO. And the Cougars kind of looking on right now, wondering what the issue is. But again, there might be a discrepancy with the scorebook here, so they're trying to get that corrected. I think the issue is with IU KOKOMO, so they're going to, I believe, just play on. I think the issue may have been Ben Simick's jersey number, or at least he may not have been in the book correctly, but that was the number that he's worn this entire tournament, so they're going to get Simick back in. It appears that they will allow play to continue here. So because of the scorebook violation, they are going to give Fink the technical free throw. Now that they got that squared away, we're back to work here. That will be a team foul on IU KOKOMO. 4th team foul, by the way. There are 5 for the Owls. So now that they got that squared away, everybody's back in the scorebook. You don't see that very often, but yeah, that is an unfortunate rule, at least in this situation for IU KOKOMO, that they have to deal with. Foul's going to be called here on the Owls. Matt Van Tassel's going to get tagged with the personal. That's his first. And at the free throw line will be Traquan Spivey. Spivey, a terrific scorer during the regular season, averaged 18.5 points a game. He was 30th in the nation in total points with 591 heading into this tournament. It's 41st in all of Division II nationwide as far as points per game. 2 for 2 at the free throw line this time around, and he brings his team back to a 4-point lead. Fink gets it into the right wing. Spin move. Stevie couldn't get that to go. But the putback is good for Kyson Faust. Faust didn't get a whole lot of production in that opening round win, but the Medford, Oregon native off to a nice start here today. He's got 4 early points, and his team's back within 2. Spivey at the free throw line, kicks it out. Down to 10 on the shot clock, and Hampton with a nice little head fake, got the defender in the air and laid it in for the finish. Hampton up to 6 points now in this first half. Fink trying to get a quick answer as he goes down low to Van Tassel. His ball stripped out of his hands by Hampton. Simick did a nice job at least disrupting that play as he fell to the ground and Hampton took it away. Now Simick swings it around. Spivey up to the top of the key. Floater from inside the lane. The finger roll finish for Clifton. Clifton now 3 of 4 from the floor with 7 points on the day. Van Tassel left it short off the left side of the iron. No good. (32-26) your score, 15 on the shot clock. Hampton kicks it outside. Spivey on the attack, spins inside the lane, now kicks it out. Simick drives, draws contact, blocking foul is going to be called on Oregon Tech. It's going to be Van Tassel who picks up a quick second. 4:48 left to go now in this first half. The free throw line again goes IU Kokomo. This will be their third total trip to the free throw line. They're 3 of 4 from the stripe so far as a team. Simic's first trip to the line. The Louisville, Kentucky freshman, 63% free throw shooter during the season. Deep breath and the release for Simic is good. Oregon Tech going to get some fresh bodies out on the floor. Stevie will go to the sideline with Van Tassel and Burge. Albrecht will check back in. Garrick gets into the contest as well. And Seth Erickson checks back in. IU Kokomo waiting for the free throw here from Simic. Hampton went to the bench for a moment. Checking back in, by the way, was Darian Porch. It's back to an 8-point lead now for IU Kokomo. Again, they've come into this tournament. One of the lower seeds is 6th seed. Got the upset win in round 1. This shot no good underneath for Oregon Tech. Second opportunity, no. Tipped out of bounds by Porch. It'll stay here with 4:28. But yeah, IU Kokomo had the 89-83 win over Union, who came in as the 3 seed in that Naismith bracket. So it's a 6 versus 2 here today. The 6 seed, although they are the lower seed, is technically the home team today. That out of bounds again on Porch, and it'll once more be Oregon ball here, Oregon Tech ball. Tyler Heeb checks back in. Faust going to the bench here for the Owls. There you see head coach Justin Parnell just for a moment there chatting with his guys on the bench. He's going to need some of those players who, a couple of them are starters, to be ready here at a moment's notice with 4 minutes to go. If they go on a run, they may need to get some shooters in the game. Fink's out there. He's their big scorer right now, but he's bottled up in the right wing. They'll go down to the big man, and they're going to say traveling. Didn't even get a chance really to get going. Albrecht took the extra step. There you see the IU Kokomo bench. Eckelbarger, the head coach. Just under 4 minutes left to go now in this first half. Baseline drive was tipped away. Spivey drives in strong, and he's going to the line again. He's a guy who gets to the line often. He had over 200 attempts from the free throw line heading into this tournament. And already today, Spivey will be going back to the line for the third overall trip, where he's 3 of 4 from the line so far. He's got 8 points, 4 assists already in this game. That one off the front side of the iron, rattles but goes through. This next one would make it a double-digit lead for the Cougars. Ten-point game, just under 4 minutes to go here. Owls like to get this to about a 2-possession game by halftime if possible, or they'd like to take the lead. They could do either if they could go on a run here. This defense from IU Kokomo has been clamping down early on, though, but a nice fadeaway will help the cause for Oregon Tech, I should say. Seth Erickson. Erickson now 12 points on 5 of 8 shooting. It's been kind of the offense in whole for this team so far. Porch with a bucket on the other end for IU Kokomo. Now Fink tried the quick layup. That doesn't go. Porch goes to the ground hard. It's going to be a blocking foul on Oregon Tech. Looks like a timeout for Oregon Tech. We'll step aside, just a 30-second timeout, but back with more from Heritage Court in Sioux Falls in just a moment. It's the NAIA National Tournament presented by Athletic Care. Porch back at the free throw line, makes his first here after the timeout, and it's now an 11-point lead for the Cougars. This KOKOMO team finished in the top 20 in the nation in quite a few categories this year, including a couple top 2 finishes in as far as blocks go defensively. They're a terrific defensive team, and they're showing that here today. Oregon Tech, normally a very good shooting team, and they've really been held in check here. That three, though, is a big one for Tyler Heeb, and they're still waiting for him to kind of catch fire and get going. That was his first attempt from the floor today, his first make. He's now got 3 points and a rebound. 2:18 left to go. 8-point game again here in Sioux Falls. Porch kicks it outside. Hampton bounces it back in the lane to Porch. He was triple teamed. That one's in and out, no good. Porch goes to the ground. And Heeb's going to push it. Porch got back up defensively in a hurry. Nice hustle there from the big man to get back down the floor on the defensive end. This is the opportunity, though, for Fink and the Owls that they've been waiting for to kind of claw their way back in. And there's a three for Erickson. Seth Erickson drains it from deep downtown. His third made three in this first half, and a timeout called by the Cougars. It's a 2-possession game, 39-34. KOKOMO wants to talk things over. 1:41 left to go. We'll step aside. Back with more after the 30-second break. Back in Sioux Falls right after this.
There's really only one steak place that has the best steak. The most tender, most flavorful, mouth-watering steak. A place that makes the choice to serve you the best choice. Because we believe there really is no other choice. Hy-Vee Choice Reserve. Premium, hand-selected, 100% natural beef. Hy-Vee Choice Reserve. Because our choice is your best choice.
IU KOKOMO with the basketball, up by 5. 1:37 left to go in this first half. Ball's in the left wing. Checking back in a moment ago is Hudson. He hands it off. McLean had the hot hand early, launches the three, and somehow gets that one to rattle home. Nice bucket there from McLean, who's now 4 of 8 from the floor. His second made three in this game. He's up to 10 points, joining Spivey. He's the only 2 players in double figures for this Cougar bunch. That three from Heeb may have been forced a little bit with a hand in his face. Now just over a minute left to go. They go back inside. McLean double teamed, had that one tipped back into his hands, got the defender in the air and a foul. Erickson realizing that had he not fouled there, it would have been an easy bucket for McLean. At least got a hold of him to force him to the free throw line and make it a little bit more difficult. 1:01 left to go in this first half, and McLean, an 80% free throw shooter at the stripe. This is his first trip to the line today. That's no good off the backside of the iron. Simic checks back in, providing a little depth here with Porch going to the sideline. McLean makes that one. 1 of 2 this trip around. 43-34 your score, under a minute left to go in this first half. They'll get it down to the high post. Erickson backing up Simic, and that's good. Erickson having a terrific first half. He's now up to 17 points on the day. He's brought his team once again back within striking distance, down at the moment by 7. It's going to be an offensive foul called on IU Kokomo. It's going to be Simic, the freshman, on the illegal screen. So about a 3.5 second, actually about just under a 4 second difference between shot clock and a game clock. Fink will be checking back in for Oregon Tech. Clifton got back in for the Cougars. And now Fink will bring it up. They're not going to be able to take the clock all the way down, but they can get it just about all the way to zeros. Down to the final 25 seconds in this one. Fink patiently trying to find somebody, finds Heeb. He drives inside with 7 on the shot clock and gets that to go. Final 7 seconds of the first half here now. Spivey inside the lane. His floater is good. And that will end your first half. Spivey with a big answer just before the buzzer at halftime. 45-38. IU Kokomo, the lower seeded in this bracket, has the lead. We'll talk more about stats and what could be should they win here today when we come back in just a few minutes. Back with more from the NAIA Men's National Basketball Tournament from Sioux Falls, South Dakota in just a few minutes. Brought to you by Athletic Care. We get our second half underway here in Sioux Falls with IU KOKOMO, the 6th seed from the Naismith bracket, leading the 2 seed Oregon Tech out of the halftime break 45-38. IU KOKOMO will get the basketball to start this second half. Little step back from Spivey. That's in and out, no good. Rebounded by Albrecht. Fink will get into the front court quickly. Erickson going all the way in for the right-handed finish. Good start for the Owls, who are back within 5. Hampton goes up for the slam after getting around one defender. The two-handed finish extends it back to a 7-point lead now. 47-40 your score. And the winner of this one will take on the defending national champion and the number 1 overall seed, Indiana Wesleyan, tomorrow in our quarterfinals. Erickson off the backside of the iron. That's no good. De'Twan Gary gets the rebound and gets it into the front court. And now it's going to be McLean going to work. Right wing 3. That's good. McLean was terrific in the first half. He was 4 of 9 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3 for 11 points. He's now got 14 on the day. Had 4 rebounds to that stat line. Good solid start for McLean. This one left short. And Hampton keeps it alive. It'll be McLean to bring it out. 10-point lead for the Cougars. Again, making their first ever national tournament appearance. Ball's in the right ring right now for Clifton. Gets it up to Gary, who drives inside, spins and bounces it back out. Spivey was double-teamed, got it away. That's tipped and taken by Heeb, though. Erickson into the front court, didn't have the numbers, slows up to allow his teammates to catch up. Now Fink drives inside the lane, gets around Hampton and lays it in with the right hand. Mitchell Fink, the Conference Player of the Year, as we mentioned, and is now 7th all-time in scoring. Actually has moved up to 6th all-time after passing Matt Foster after their first-round win. This one no good. But Fink will go to the stripe. Spivey will pick up the personal. That's his first team foul of the second half. Yeah, Fink needed 22 to move into 6th place all-time in the Oregon Tech scoring list, and he got 22 in the first-round win. So officially took over as 6th on the all-time list today with his first points of the game. He's got 9 right now and a chance to get into double figures with this free throw. Fink puts this one up and in. He's 5 for 5 from the free throw line today. Brought his team back within 6, a 2-possession game, and they're going to say traveling. Oregon Tech is going to have to find a way to get Matt Van Tassel involved on the offensive side. He's been doing a great job defensively in the interior here so far. As you get a look at Justin Parnell, the Owls head coach. His guys trying to get off to a hot start here in the second half. Just about 2 minutes into this second half of action. And it's been all Owls so far. Even so, they find themselves down here at the moment. Fink from the top of the key for 3. That's no good. Off the right side, rebounded by Clifton. He's going to push the tempo. And IU KOKOMO likes to run the floor. Oregon Tech's been doing a good job getting back defensively, though that shot was, I think, blocked, but they're going to say a foul away from the ball. Van Tassel got tangled up with Deshaun Hampton. Second, I think that 3rd personal, I believe, on Van Tassel. Yeah, that's 3 on him. Now an offensive foul. Clifton gave a little push there as Fink backpedaled, just enough to pull both players down. You'll get a look at the replay here. Not a lot, but lowered the shoulder and used the forearm just enough. Thought he might be able to get away with it with the official behind him, but the Zebra's all over that one. Just over 17 minutes left to go now. Still a 6-point game here inside the Pentagon. This is day 3 of this national tournament. Half the teams from this tournament have now been eliminated. and actually more than half of those teams. By day's end, this pool of teams remaining will be cut in half again. It's been a wild first 2.5 days here, and we just had a big finish not long ago. Indiana Wesleyan, the defending national champion, advanced to the quarterfinals. The winner of this one will take on the national champion from last season and the #1 overall seed. Again, in the first half, very early on in the game, Bryce Hudson rolled his ankle. He's on the end of the bench right now trying to walk off what might have been another mild ankle sprain, and he is still feeling it over there. They're going to need him at some point here. Hard drive inside. Took the pass, though, instead of trying to shoot it. Faust, now double team, breaks free. That one off the rim, kind of hung for a moment and goes in. Wasn't the prettiest sequence there for Faust, but he gets the points and comes away with a big bucket for his team to bring him back within 4. Still a 2-possession game, though, with under 16 minutes left to go. Spivey going up amongst the trees there and found a way to get that one in. Spivey's had a terrific tournament. Quick drive, that bucket should be good. Are they going to say the basket counts? Was it tipped, though? I don't think they ever actually tipped it. This is going to be called on Porch, I think. Actually, no, they're going to say Gary gets the foul. Going to the line to try to complete the three-point play will be Gehrig. Swan Gary picked up his third personal on that one as Gehrig for Oregon Tech makes the free throw. It's a 3-point game now, just a 1-possession contest. Spivey. He's going to get it inside, and Gary has his shot partially blocked. Porch has his shot blocked. Now McLean will bring it back out, down to 12 on the shot clock. Spivey will take his chance. Kicks it away, down to 8. Spivey, head fake, spins, goes in. That one off the backside of the iron, no good. Ball's loose on the floor, and it's going to get picked up by Gehrig. Kellen Gehrig trying to race out in front of everybody, now smartly pulls it back. Just over 15 minutes to go. Gehrig, baseline jumper from 8 feet out. That's no good. Ball's loose, tipped, and into the hands of Porch. IU KOKOMO starting to pick up the tempo here. Spivey launches. That's no good from 15 feet out. And Faust comes away with the rebound. Fink wants to slow things up here. He'll go into the half-court offense. He'll try to get a screen at the top of the key. Doesn't get one, but goes inside anyways. Double-teamed. His shot partially blocked, and we're going to have 2 free throws coming up here. A late whistle will send Fink, I believe, to the free throw line. It'll either be Fink or it'll be Albrecht. They called that one on Swan Gary, who just picked up his 4th personal. He's going to have to check out of this game here. Back in will be Clifton for IU KOKOMO. Heeb will go to the bench for the Owls along with Albrecht. Fink's back at the free throw line. McKim is checked in, the Australian, for this Oregon Tech squad. And there are a few players who've found themselves in this national tournament from Australia. It's been an international pool of players here over the first few days of this tournament. It's a 1-point game right now between these two teams from the Naismith quadrant of our bracket. Hampton had that stripped out of his hands. They're going to say actually it went off his leg out of bounds, though. Oregon Tech, since the break, has had all the momentum in this one. And I believe a timeout called by IU KOKOMO. They want to talk things over. They had a double-digit lead not long ago. It's down to just 1, 52-51, and we're back with more in Sioux Falls right after the break.
Hey, Coach, do you have athletic care? Athletic Care was created to provide college athletic programs a simple solution to protect their student athletes in the event of an illness or injury. We take pride in offering the most innovative, flexible, and affordable insurance solutions for athletes. Our custom insurance programs are built to meet the needs of colleges and universities nationwide. So if your insurance provider has dropped the ball, let us pick it up.
52-51 your score. Oregon Tech trailing by 1. This one off the backside of the iron, no good. Here comes IU Kokomo trying to get back out in front. 1 point game, this one off the backside of the iron, no good. Tipped out of bounds. It'll stay here. I think the Cougars trying to say there was a foul there. Just a good defensive stand that time from Oregon Tech as they continue to try to get the right bodies out there on the floor. Hampton will take a seat on the bench right now, but you can see towards the left of your screen there a moment ago, Hudson still stretching out that ankle. He's at the top of your screen at the end of the Cougars bench. Drive inside here. That one a nice finger roll finish for Antoine Clifton. Quick move inside here. That shot's no good. Steiger tried to get a quick bucket. Now Clifton is going to have that go off his leg out of bounds. This game's kind of turned into a track meet here in the second half. Both teams up and down the floor. (54-51) your score. The home team, the 6th seed. At the top of the bracket as far as the seedings are concerned, and so they are technically the home team today, even though the higher seed, Oregon Tech, came in as the 2 seed. IU Kokomo, the 6 seed. That one off the hands of Spivey out of bounds. He wasn't quite ready for the pass there from Antoine Clifton. Kokomo trying to get things realigned on the offensive end here. They'll have to make a stop defensively, though. They're currently up by 3, but Oregon Tech with this possession could tie the game. They're going to their big man down low, McKim, who had it taken away. Ball outside in the hands of Clifton. He wants to set the offense here. McLean, who's been the hot hand throughout the course of this game and really throughout the tournament for this Kokomo squad, got it away. Spivey's shot's no good. Simic had his shot rejected, but got hit as he went up, and it'll be a couple free throws coming up for the freshman. They're going to call it on Lockham McKim. First personal foul on McKim in this one. Simic at the free throw line. Again, a 63% free throw shooter. His only points of the day so far coming from the line. That one's good. Second attempt from Simic goes through. It's a 5-point game again with under 13 minutes left to go in regulation. College of Idaho and Cornerstone coming up as soon as this one wraps up. This play continues here on day 3 in round 2 of this tournament. I'm going to say this one on the ground here is going to be called on Porch. Tried to come in from behind and make a stop defensively. Porch picks up his first personal. That's now the 5th team foul on the Cougars. Looks like they're going to try to get Bryce Hudson back in the game again. He's been working out that ankle really throughout the course of this contest. Hudson checks back in. Spivey going to the sideline for a few minutes here for the Cougars. A little frustrated at the moment. He might be banged up as well. Erickson with it, top of the key. In a 5-point game. Turnaround, right-handed hook. That's no good. Steiger couldn't get it to go. 12 and a half minutes left as McLean dribbles this one off his foot out of bounds. Back and forth we go. Turnovers have kind of become an issue in this one here today. That was the 15th turnover of the game for the Cougars. Oregon Tech now with 9 turnovers as a team. 12:24 left to go. Turnaround hung on the rim, no good, and now it's going to be an offensive foul called on Oregon Tech. Gehrig tried to track down his miss. Went over the back of one of the KOKOMO players there. Hampton will check back into the game. Hudson goes to the bench again, still trying to work out that ankle, and it's a noticeable limp right now for Hudson. Porch goes to the sideline as well. With Spivey on the bench, all of a sudden you've got three very productive players for this IU KOKOMO team who are not in the game. This could be an opportunity for Oregon Tech to try to sneak and go on a run here over the next few minutes and maybe take the lead as McLean launches, can't connect. That's rebounded by Gehrig. He'll bring it up himself with under 12 to go. Gehrig, scoop pass, not a good decision there. Rushed it, could have taken the shot, instead of passed it away. Now this on the other end, that's no good. Tipped, McLean gets the rebound. His shot contested, could have easily been a foul, there wasn't. Alertly, Clifton will bring it out to reset. Webster, who we haven't seen a whole lot in this tournament, tried to bounce it away. His pass taken. And now here comes Fink into the front court. Hebe splitting a defender, goes right into the hoop and gets the bucket. His team back within three, and a timeout called by the Owls. 11:21 left to go in this second half. 56-53 your score. We're back with more Inside the Pentagon in a moment from the NAIA Division II Men's National Basketball Tournament. Back at it again with 11:21 left to go. 56-53 your score, a one-possession game. IU KOKOMO, who's led basically the entire way in this one. Oregon Tech had a brief 2-0 lead at the very beginning of the game. Otherwise, Cougars have been out in front the whole way, but they're feeling a little uncomfortable right now here with Oregon Tech playing tough defense in the second half. They've started hitting some shots. McLean drives inside, his shot contested. Will go to the line, though, after hitting the hardwood. Garrett Albrecht will pick up the personal. First one's good for McLean. He's been busy in this one so far today. 15.7 rebounds. This is fourth free throw attempt off the backside of the iron. 2 of 4 today, 1 of 2 this trip around. 4-point lead right now for the Cougars of IU KOKOMO. Fink drives inside, his pass tipped. Hebe into the right corner, the three, that's no good. Rebounded by Albrecht, and he'll bring it back out. Fink drives, kicks it away. Hebe wants it again. Right wing for three. That's good. Hebe missed on his first attempt, but Fink gave it right back to him. That's the sixth made three in the game for the Owls. For Hebe, just his second made three today. He's up to 10 points now. 57-56 your score. McLean, left wing for three. That's no good. Hampton had it stripped out of his hands by Fink into the front court. Heeb finds Albrecht, who goes in for the slam. And the Owls have the 1-point lead, just their second lead of the day. Simic, the freshman, hands it off now, and McLean wants to slow things down. With Spivey back out there, he's got a chance to calm things a bit. Clifton gets it inside. Simic trying to get around the defender. Albrecht had some trouble, and Albrecht comes away with the loose ball. It'll be Fink into the front court now. Erickson right back to Fink. Three from the top of the key. That's good. Mitchell Fink helps his squad take their largest lead of the day. And the Owls, 61-57 over IU Kokomo with 9:29 left to go. It'll be the Cougars taking a timeout. It'll be a full timeout. We're back with more in a moment in Sioux Falls. Stay tuned. .22 left to go here in regulation. IU Kokomo finding themselves down really for the first time today. Hampton, fouled from behind, will go to the free throw line. Hampton, a 54% free throw shooter. Hampton's had some big moments in this tournament already. This free throw off the front side of the iron won't help Cougars' cause, though. And the Cougars dealing with some minor foul issues early on in this game. Injuries have been a concern as well. Even so, they've found a way to control this game up to this point. All of a sudden, though, the Owls have hit a couple quick threes and have taken, at the moment, a 3-point lead after Hampton's made free throw. Fink going to work. Bounces it inside. That shot blocked. Getting his own rebound, though. Faust goes right back up and gets it in with the right-handed finish. 9 minutes to go. It's a 5-point lead now for the Owls. This one tipped out of bounds. The other way we go. Spivey was trying to say that got tipped out of his hand. Fink thought about maybe getting a pass inside, but again, this IU Kokomo defense has been tough to get around. Fink drives baseline, gets it to float in from 8 feet out. Mitchell Fink just kind of starting to take control of this basketball game now. He's up to 17 points. Erickson has 19, and you're also looking at 10 points today from Tyler Heeb. 3 players in double figures for this Owls bunch now as Porch goes in with a nice strong finish. Right-handed layup off the glass is good, brings his team back within 5. Quick answer on the other end from Faust is no good. Faust and Hampton collided, bumped heads. They're both down on the other end of the floor. Porch kicks it outside. 3 from Clifton's no good. That putback is no good. Both players got back up and appear to be okay, although trying to shake off the cobwebs right now. Under 8 minutes left to go. This one getting interesting here in Sioux Falls. Chance to go to the quarterfinals on the line as Erickson rattles that one in and out, no good. Hampton with the rebound. Spivey out in front of everybody, leading the pack, has his shot swatted away by Albrecht. It'll go out of bounds, they'll say last touched by Spivey. And Oregon Tech with the basketball, again, still with some momentum on their side as Heeb goes to the bench. Gehrig will check back in. Faust heads to the sideline. Scotty Burge, we haven't seen in a little while, gets back in the game as well for Oregon Tech. Just over 7.5 minutes remaining in this one. IU KOKOMO got a surprising win in upset fashion in the first round. Looked like they might have a chance to do it again today. This Oregon Tech squad, the 2 seed from their quadrant of the bracket, has kind of leveled the playing field and starting to pull away with hustle plays like that. Out rebounding on the offensive side. Here's that one, drops. Seth Erickson, the junior out of Salem, Oregon, left the hand up for a moment just for good measure. His team now with their largest lead of the day, an 8-point lead, it short-lived as Gary goes the other end and gets the floater from inside the paint. Gary's been playing with 4 fouls. He's got just 2 points on the day. Erickson wants another one, tried to get his own rebound. The ball's loose. And almost tipped it away, but Hampton comes away with it. Just over 6.5 minutes left to go in regulation. This has been a quick contest between these two teams here so far. That one floated, no good, but a foul will send Clifton, I believe, to the line. Yeah, he'll go to the stripe for 2 here. Clifton's first attempt is good. He's in double figures now with 10 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists today. Porch goes to the bench for a moment for IU KOKOMO. McLean checks back in. That one in and out, no good for Clifton. 1 of 2 this trip around. 5-point game, 68-63 your score. Fink into the front court to Faust. Faust inside the lane. He's been going to work against Hampton the last couple drives down, gets that bucket to go. And Faust was quiet in the first game, but he's in double figures today now with 10 points. In the opening round win, Faust was just 1 of 2 from the floor with 4 points. They're going to try and say this is a foul on Oregon Tech. We'll see who this is on. I think they're going to say Fink. Actually, it might have been Kellen Gehrig. We'll have to see. Couldn't see what the official was signaling to the scores table, and they didn't announce it inside the building here, so didn't see who the foul's on. Either way, McLean's at the line right now, 15.7 rebounds on the day. This game in danger of getting away from the Cougars here with just under 6 minutes left to go. It's a 3-possession game at the moment. McLean's free throw, left short, got his own rebound though, and they'll reset the offense. McLean on the drive, tried to get it inside. Hampton off the back end of the iron, no good. Ball's loose on the floor, bodies flying everywhere. It's going to be Simic who comes away with it. He's double teamed on the sideline, and I think they're going to say he called a timeout before stepping out of bounds. So it'll be Cougar ball with 27 on the shot clock when we come back. 70-63, Oregon Tech with the lead. 5:26 left to go in Sioux Falls, and we're back in a moment right here inside Heritage Court. 7-point lead for the Owls with 5:25 left to go. Cougars have the basketball. McLean out there with 15 points on the day, looking inside for Hampton. He's double teamed, and now that pass tipped as Simic tries to come open inside the lane. Simic recovers though. Shot clock down to 9. Spivey on the drive, bounces it inside, and Hampton off the backboard is going to get that one to go. Hampton's in double figures now, third player on the court for the Cougars to reach double figures. He's got 11 points. 5-point game again here in Sioux Falls. Fink goes to work with Spivey in front of him. On the drive, step back, little separation. That shot's good. Mitchell Fink, the junior, just continues to put up record numbers for this program. Hampton may have injured his back going up on that one. His back or his left hand. He'll go to the line in just a moment, but yeah, Hampton's trying to stretch out that back. Right-hander's first attempt is good. Just his second made free throw from the line today. He's up to 12 points now. Erickson checks back in with his 22 points on the day. Fink remains out there with 19, and they've also got 10 points today from Case and Faust. 3 players in double figures for the Owls. Cougars have 4 players in double figures on the floor right now, but the Cougars find themselves down by 6. Fink gets it up to the top of the key with 18 on the shot clock. He wants it back in his hands. Fink guarded by Spivey. Little crossover into the corner now. Erickson inside the lane. Fade away. That over McLean's outstretched hand is good. 8-point lead for Oregon Tech with 4:06 left to go. Timeout on the floor called by the Owls. I believe it'll be a full timeout, and we'll step aside with them. 74-66. Back with more in Sioux Falls right after this.
Powerful and playful. Delicate and precise. Bold and carefree. It's the way you move, and it moves us. To deliver care for your whole family. To provide options beyond the expected. To help you leave pain in the past and find your way forward. Orthopedics and sports medicine at Sanford Health. Health lives here.
Faust, who's had a terrific game, steals this one away and is going to go coast to coast for the Owls. He puts it to the largest lead of the day now for Oregon Tech. A 10-point advantage with 3:48 left to go. What a turnaround in this second half for Oregon Tech, who again just seemed to be out of sorts the entire first half. And they've struck fire here, led by Faust and Fink. Erickson continues to have a steady presence here today. Heeb is in double figures now with 10 points. In all, 4 players for the Owls have gotten into double figures. The Cougars have 4 players in double figures as well. 3:20 left to go in this first half, or check that second half, I should say, as Fink has his shot rejected by Hampton. Spivey is going to try to go in the lane, has his shot swatted away by Fink. They thought that he got fouled. Play continues, though, as Erickson gets it away to Fink. Fink, dangerous pass inside to Faust. His shot off the glass is good. And it's a 12-point lead for the Owls. Looks like it's going to be a timeout called by IU Kokomo, and their coaching staff fired up on the sideline 78-66 your score. 2:52 left to go in this one. Back in Sioux Falls in just a moment from the NAIA Division II Men's National Basketball Tournament. .247 left to go in this one. 78-66 your score. McLean getting tangled up as he tried to drive inside the lane. He got his hands on that. Jump ball. Possession arrow favors the Owls. And they're in the driver's seat here right now. Cougars maybe seeing their historic run come to an end today, should they not be able to get a big comeback here over these last 2.5 minutes. Again, playing most of the game without junior Bryce Hudson. He's been dealing with an ankle injury. Hudson remains on the end of the bench and appears that his day may be done today. 2:25 left to go. Fink inside the paint. That one floated with a soft touch off the backside of the iron, and that's good. It's a 14-point lead for the Owls. Cougars are going to need to start hitting some threes here if they want to get back in this game. They go down low to Hampton, who goes up with the big slam. He's had some huge jams throughout the course of this game, and hopefully that's a momentum booster for this Kokomo squad. It's back to a 12-point difference now. 80-68 your score. Minute 45 left to go in regulation. That one's saved by Erickson. Inside, that shot no good. A foul. It'll send McLean to the line. I think Erickson was trying to argue that he was fouled when he tried to save that basketball a moment ago. They're going to call this foul on Garrett Albrecht. Picks up his 4th personal. 6 points today for Albrecht, and McLean at the line. He's got 15 points to lead all Cougars. This one is good. 16 points now for McLean. Ten-point game with a minute 35 left to go. Owls trying to hold on to this double-digit lead. Burge gets it across the half-court line. They get it into the hands of Fink, and he's their closer. On the day, 21 points for Fink. Got it inside to Albrecht. He gets fouled and will go to the line. Again, Fink, 21 points today, had 22 yesterday. He's moved into sole possession now for Oregon Tech as the team's 6th all-time scorer. Came into the tournament with 1,435 points. He's now at 1,479 as we do some quick math. Albrecht at the free throw line. 66% free throw shooter on the season. Combination today of Erickson and Fink for this Oregon Tech squad has been terrific. Erickson led the way in the first half and kept them in the game. Fink, along with the help of Heeb and Faust, have helped Oregon Tech pull away late. It's 82-70 with just over a minute to go. 3 from the right corner. That's too strong. Fink goes out of bounds. Tried to call a timeout as he was falling out of bounds, but couldn't catch the attention of the officials in time, so it'll go back to the Cougars with 1 minute left to go exactly. Again, coming up next, College of Idaho, who went deep in this tournament just a year ago, will be taking on Cornerstone. We'll get you a full preview of that in just a few minutes. McLean has his shot sent out of bounds by Harrison Steiger. Just under 54 seconds left to go now. IU Kokomo's going to perhaps wave the white flag here today, bringing in some of their reserves off the bench. Jalen Gilbert will check in. Get you some of these names here as guys head to the sideline. Gilbert has checked into the game along with Jaden Wagner. Trying to see who the other player is. Antoine Jackson also checking in. McLean the jumper. Check that, Gilbert with the jumper. That's good, and it's a 10-point game. Final 43 seconds. This Indiana University Kokomo bunch has just one senior on the squad, Dante Butler. It's going to be a team that got to think will have a chance to come back next year with a very senior-laden squad heading into the 2020 season. This shot off the rim, no good. Oregon Tech survived a scare early on. They were down big just before halftime, but a terrific turnaround in the second half gives them a 12-point advantage, and they've punched their ticket to the quarterfinals. Final score in this one, 84-72. Oregon Tech will advance, and they now look on to the defending national champion. They'll take on Indiana Wesleyan tomorrow at 4 p.m. with a chance to go to the semifinals. That'll be a terrific matchup. We'll have that one for you right here. Right now, we're going to step aside for a few minutes. When we come back, we'll have a 4 o'clock game coming up. College of Idaho, the 2 seed, versus the 3 seed, Cornerstone, out of Michigan. We'll have that tip-off for you at 4 o'clock on the dot. Be sure to join us again in a half hour. We'll be back with more in Sioux Falls in just a short while from the 2019 NAIA Division II Men's National Basketball Championship presented by Athletic Care.